Well, look at this new report from the University of California, San Diego, painting an alarming picture about the state of education in our country. And I literally mean look at it. The report found that 1 in 5 of the nation's schools' incoming students fail to meet the statewide entry-level writing requirement. And for math, it isn't much better. 1 in 8 incoming freshmen also have math skills below the middle school level. And in that same report, they pulled some examples of math questions that were given to incoming college students on their entry exam. And here's what they found. That first one you see on your screen is a first grade math question. 7 plus 2 equals what? That's a blank. What plus 6? The answer is 3. Only 75% of incoming college students could get that right. The second one, the second grade question. Sarah had 9 pennies and 9 dimes. How many coins did she have in all? The answer is 18. Only 79% got the right answer. Emily, what is going on?
You know, frankly, I think it's an overdependence on technology with our children, and in public schools, they're not learning study skills. They're not learning the attention span and the focus required to actually do math. Moreover, they're not learning computational skills. They are having devices that show the work for them. And you contrast these statistics with those coming out of, for example, classic education and Catholic schools and the like, where the scores are extraordinarily higher. So it is so devastating to me that those that don't have the means to make those choices for their children, those that live in areas where they don't have the choice or the ability to steward their children into automatically more successful arenas, or instead their children are getting indoctrinated and they are getting sold short. Because remember that every year our tax dollars increase more and more in the amount that we are shoveling toward these unions and toward these public school districts to no avail, to in fact worsening scores. It is absolutely appalling, but remember the unions still have that chokehold over it.
I love as a parent where you started with that heavy lean on digital devices, and we're not practicing the math that they do learn if they happen to get it, you know, in job skills like counting back cash, because most people aren't using cash. So they can't count back the change to you.
You know, a lot of these skills are becoming anachronistic, all right? They're becoming skills that I know a very, very bright kid. And let's say at the time when I asked 8th, 9th grade or so, the kid couldn't tell time. And he knew what time it was, but he couldn't read the face of a clock. And the reason for that is he'd never had to. He grew up as a digital being. All he had to do is look at his phone or look at a digital clock someplace. So to expand the story a little bit, we are going to see over the next few years, 5, 10 years or so, AI married to quantum computing. We're going to see something that's going to make the Industrial Revolution look like it never happened. The world is going to change extremely, and we're going to get more and more of these stories. There's always a generational gap, we know that, but we're going to start to see kids who can't do things that we just take for granted. This started with the calculator, by the way. Once you could use a calculator on a test, and you don't have to worry about any of this stuff. What you're going to lose is critical thinking skills. If you got a kid that you're making think critically, the kid's going to be way out ahead of the game. But understand something, as the robots take over, including, I know somebody who's got literally an AI lawnmower. The thing mows the lawn. You and I talked about this. At a time when we imported 12 million unskilled laborers, AI is coming along to take even the blue-collar jobs. Get used to these kinds of stories. It's going to be I don't even want to say a brave new world, but it's going to be a very new world. The people in generations below us are going to be very, very different from where we are now.
Well, and all I can think of is homeschooling and the power of that, and passing along your education the way you do your love. I want to show this. As far as the reason for why, another reason, in addition to what Emily and Paul have given us, so many kids are not meeting those standards. The UC San Diego report found this. It's a quote: "The deterioration coincided with the COVID-19 pandemic and its effects on education, the elimination of standardized testing, grade inflation, and the expansion of admissions from under-resourced high schools." Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, the number of students who did not have basic middle school math skills increased 30-fold between 2020 and 2025. I blame this almost exclusively on the pandemic. And I blame this almost exclusively on the media and the left. And here is why. You know, I had the humbling job in 2020 of communicating with the nation during a once-in-a-generation pandemic. And President Trump gave me a clear directive. go to the podium and say children need to be back in schools full-time learning. And I brought the data to the podium in July of 2020, just a few months into COVID. I cited a JAMA study of 46 pediatric hospitals saying kids should go back to school. And I said the science shouldn't stand in the way. Why? Because the science is on our side. What did the media do with that? Jim Acosta clipped a part of it saying the White House says the science shouldn't stand in the way. He made it go viral. He even got called out by leftists. I consider him a leftist. Jake Tapper, I almost called him James Tapper. Jake Tapper, we can go with James too. He got called out by Jake Tapper, but he made that go viral, and the media, MSNBC, picked it up. They tried to suggest the science did not say kids should go back to school. It always said that. And the left carried the water. The left was anti-science. The media was anti-science. And who's paying the price? The children. The children are paying the price because of the lies of the left.
Caroline.
The school shutdowns during COVID is still one of the greatest scandals of our time. I used to cover education and National Review, and it goes beyond arithmetic and mathematics. It goes to literacy and reading comprehension, English speaking abilities. I remember talking to an old professor who told me recently that his freshman class of political science students are submitting papers without complete sentences. They do not know syntax or sentence structure. And that's before you get to vocabulary, which is quite limited as well. So it's important to note that the collateral damage of the blue state mismanagement of COVID was the children, and it's following and haunting Gen Z into the job market, because 51% of hiring managers say that they have had Gen Z candidates that do not have good communication skills. But it's not entirely their fault. It is the failure of the K-12 government-run school system that did this in bed with the teachers' unions.
So, and it defies all logic, because in 1918 in the Spanish flu, we are in the only city where they kept the schools open when 50 million people died of the flu across the world. New York State schools, or rather New York City schools, stayed open because they knew they also had to feed people. Yet this time we didn't even learn the lesson from that. We knew that some of those kids in our present day, 2020, needed the food programs from those schools, and they still locked them down.
There's no other way to say this other than that was social experimentation on our kids, that era. I don't know how else to put it.
Wow.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.